Greetings and welcome to Jefficho Films. I'm just gonna read the description on IMDb here. In a sunken castle underneath the earth, 5 strangers wake. They have no food, no memory, no water, and no way out. They must organize and band together for their sinister adventure that awaits. Alright, well, it's called Game of Assassins if you go to Wiki. It's called The Gauntlet if you go to IMDb. And the movie poster says Game of Assassins. But none of these guys are really assassins, so I'm gonna go with The Gauntlet. I don't know. This 2013 action-adventure horror actually won an award at some indie film festival, which is surprising. But we're going to review it anyways. So let's review The Gauntlet.
What the fuck is going on?
Why are you doing this?
What is this, some rich bastard's idea of entertainment?
Look, it doesn't matter. All that matters is getting out of here.
This movie starts out with a flashback of a dramatic hostage situation, and then David wakes up on top of a pile of charred corpses. He finds an old katana, and then he battles a dude, Jin-Soo, who's played by Dustin Nguyen of 21 Jump Street fame. And, he gets the upper hand.
Got any idea how you got here?
No. I just woke up.
You just woke up? You just woke up? You decided to kill me?
I didn't know who you were.
They climb out of the incinerator room and we learn that Jin has a wife and 2 daughters, David was a cop, and they run into a kid named Tyler and a girl named Emma, who's played by the lovely Jaime Newman from the Punisher Netflix series, and they group up and they head to another room where they find a girl chained up and a message. The room shuts and they look around for a way out. David's Catholic days seem to give him some insight before a chain shoots up with a blade right through Jin's leg.
Now we're getting somewhere.
They realize they have to bleed the hanging girl, so the blood fills up this little crevice and that will release Jin. Problem was, she wasn't dead. Maybe you should have checked that first. Then they find Kim Lee, played by the lovely Bai Ling, who joins their group. David and Emma chat and get to know each other during one of the rest stops. They walk through a flooded area with tree vines coming down the walls and old paintings, and David finds a police badge. I'm pretty sure it's his. Jin has a theory.
And there are no dowels for this level.
Saying there are some.
You see, I think it's on the floor, which would be impossible to find, but if you look at the ceiling, every 10th stone is wider and larger. It's part of the design.
Kim finds a body and she recognizes it, and she tells the group a story about how this guy was stalking her at her fitness class, and she snapped and killed him, and somebody put the body down here with them. They find an important turnstile thing on the floor, so they have to build a dam around it to keep the water out. I wouldn't have thought about that, so thanks, movie. Tyler gets stuck in one of these little rooms and it just locks him up, but it also unlocks another room where we meet Morgan.
Who are you?
Morgan,
What the fuck are you doing here?
I woke up here. It's been days. Please help me.
She's chained and locked against the wall, but they have the key. And then Tyler tells Emma through the wall his story, that he was at school and some kid wanted to shoot the football team, and he thought they were just going to scare them, and so he ends up shooting the guy that was going to shoot the football team to save the football team and other people from dying, which is kind of good, but also bad that you were involved. So kind of still makes you look bad there, dude. Morgan knows Emma from somewhere, and Kim unlocks her, but then grabs her and throws her in the room beside Tyler, which locks her up and releases Tyler, and it kills her. It kills Morgan, so I see morals are going to be tested in this. Panel opens up in the ceiling, and then we go into the next room or level, and it kind of looks like a Witcher's alchemy lab. And then Emma tells David of her story and how she's been playing bars for 8 years, and this record guy takes her to her fuck room and says he can make her, but she doesn't want to. And then Morgan sees her in there with the guy and locks the door on her, and she has to kill the dude.
That little innocent girl that we just killed, she put me in that room. Get off of me! And she left me there.
I'm not sure that was a good enough reason to kill Morgan, and they didn't even check on Hanging Girl before they ended up killing her. I do like how Bai Ling just strips down to her booty shorts, and is that even a sports bra? Gas starts filling up the room and Tyler gets a nosebleed and everybody starts getting dizzy. And then Jim has this vision of pulling the lever and having this chain grate thing fall down on Kim and kill her. How? And then he does it. And he could have just got her to move. It's not like there's blood filling up a crevice again that's going to release them. It actually reveals a key so that David can get them out of that room. But, like, he didn't need to do that. David goes back to save Kim, and he does, and she's got a lot of holes in her, but I guess none of them are deep enough to kill her. The next room is very viney, with old paintings and corpses hanging on the walls, and lots of turnstiles. Good old church boy David figures it out pretty quick, and then he tells us about Gideon. Basically the message is, kill everyone and be the last person, and you can escape hell. Emma has a theory, and I kind of expected the little pitchfork to go through her head, but David says it detects heartbeats, and once it detects one, then the door will open. Which means everybody's kind of got to kill themselves. And so, Kim decides to oblige everyone and attacks.
Tyler, get out of here. Get out of here!
Kim knocks David out and stabs Emma in the leg, and then everybody hides in the fog. She admits that she killed the people that came down there before him, and she was going to kill them, and she wants to become a killer. That's her goal in life now. She's really found herself down there. Jin admits to pulling the lever that actually hurt her, but he says he doesn't want to become like any of them, so he's going to kill himself. And then Tyler pulls a crossbow on David. Like, didn't you just say this?
We can't kill each other. Alright, come on, we're a team now. If I have to shoot 1,000 people, I'll do it. But not you guys.
Well, you shouldn't have turned your back. Kim battles David and gets a few stabs on him before he gets the upper hand, but then he has flashbacks to how he's beaten a criminal to death, because, that was his mistake in life, and so he gives her another chance to kill him, and Emma comes out with the crossbow and shoots her in the back of the neck.
You're alright.
Stay back.
How'd she even load another crossbow so fast? She also sees David's sword in Tyler's back and blames him, and of course he doesn't explain it, and then she goes to shoot him, but she can't do it. And then he explains. Guys, you just need to stop a heart, and then let the door open, and then you could CPR them on the other side. And then David actually figures this out, but he doesn't say anything. He just starts strangling her. I mean, like, dude, your character's not a dick. You think you would explain the plan. But, movie logic, they don't want us to know that he's not turning on her. It works, he CPRs her. I would have dragged her through the door first before doing that, because it almost closes on them. I also expect better technique from a cop.
Come on!
He carries her out of there and the door closes, and then they're in a church with a bunch of robed figures sitting around, and they say that they passed the test, and it's his dad. He says he's very proud of him.
I've watched you every step of the way. You remembered. You remembered everything I taught you about how to get through.
His dad was always teaching him religious lessons so that he could actually pass this gauntlet one day when he gets inside, but he tells him he has one job left to do, and he gives him a knife. But David refuses, so Daddy makes it a moot point.
Emma!
Dude, you should have fought them while she was still alive. Also, I like how the other guys just sit there and watch. And then David, finishes off some of them and he walks out into the light. Does he go to the police and bring them back? What does he do with his life? I don't know. It's the end. I like the sets. They were pretty cool. I mean, I don't know how big or small they were, and I'm not sure they did either. And the movie poster is very misleading. One review I read says it's best. 5 strangers wake up in a dank, dark room with no recollection of how they got there. It turns out they're all murderers and have to Goonies their way through a jigsaw dungeon full of torture devices. Sounds good, right? Maybe in the hands of someone experienced enough to execute it properly, but not here. I think that's actually pretty accurate. I like Jaime Newman in this, and Bai Ling. I think he had 4 decent leads in this to work around. Just some logic inconsistencies. Place in.
Doran!
Do it.
in the end, it's not that painful of a watch. It really reminded me of a Hercules episode. In fact, this would have been way better if it had Kevin Sorbo and was a Hercules episode. But there's a lot you could learn from watching this in low-budget filmmaking. I think, there's a lot of things you could do to fix it. If you've ever seen this, let me know what you would do to fix this and upgrade it, because there's a lot of room for it. It totally would have tried to accelerate the process of what's going on there, because it took them a while to get around to it, and by that point I was just like, alright guys, whatever. Well, as always, thanks for watching.
This is what you are. Who will accept you? You no longer fit in that world. You become something else. Do it.